And now this is an uninitiated look into Aviary Myna, which I believe is named after a bird of sorts, like their whole suite which is coming together. I'm really looking forward to their video editor to see what that brings, because that is sort of an untouched space. There have been some experiments at that. But anywho, let's go into this editor. And so when you start it up, it already has a song and you can easily play. So again, here we have familiar GarageBand interface. If you've seen my quick review or noobish muddling through of Soundation, which is sort of like this. And interestingly enough, we have a full arrangement view. I'm used to this sort of thing from Ableton, and it's nice that it shows the bars. Now that's cool. So overall already I get the feel this is more polished, more sophisticated than Soundation on a number of fronts, but let's see if that proves to be a difficult case for usability too. So cool, we have some automation, some fading here, and we can go forth and just play the space bar. And that's a bit distracting, that dragging, I wonder if that's done for speed, takes away the waveform, because sometimes I like to track that. Again, these are based on the preconceptions I have because of the main DAW, the main digital audio workstation I'm familiar with, which is Ableton Live. And as you can see, a lot of the controls here are standard. You usually have a vertical throw fader or a horizontal one. In this case, these cases for the volume of each track, the panning, the solo, mute, auto, and snap, which is presumably for samples. So let's drag, let's see if we can actually clear here. Let's make a new one. Okay, good. And mix down, just having a look at what all these things do. Sometimes I like that. The first time I'm going to use something without reading the manual. Let's try the library. This would be the equivalent of, say, in GarageBand, you have the library of loops, and oh, they've licensed them. I've heard of this name before, haven't really used a lot of their stuff. Let's see more info on what they've got. Okay, again, it's a sort of promotional tool that, hey, if you like this, you may want to upgrade to the professional level, just to hook you in here. Okay. And let's see the terms of service. Are we allowed to use this in our own tracks? Because that's a really big potential usage. If you don't know really how to make music, that you could quickly knock together a track with these samples. And hey, like GarageBand or anything, it is better than nothing, so to speak. Although one problem I continually come up with is the bandwidth one. When you're loading in samples on the web, it's a lot slower than dragging them on your local hard drive. So that's something. Geez, these are ugly. My gosh, for such, look at this. This is ridiculous. They have, oh, such a cool site, but their terms of service are hideous. There's no excuse for that. They could have prettified it. And I don't really get it. They should have a simple translation like Flickr does, explaining to me, hey, if I can use this, if I can sell a track that I make with this. I don't know. I'll leave that one to the professionals, but let's go into style. So I like atmospheres, maybe some drum. What is a drum drone? Is that like saying something is sharp and blunt at the same time? Oh. It's like those Hollywood movies. Get the chopper, General. We're going in. Dum, bum, bum, bum. So it's nice that it can preview easy like that. That's a cool thing. I like that. But hey, I'm trying to drag to the top track here. How do I do that? Oh, do I have to drag here? The problem is, see, I'm on a typical smaller resolution. I don't want to expand it. I'm at 1024 by 768 about, I think. Pixels should not be approximate. Okay, now we have that. If we drag that in, we can see it. And I do like seeing that there's a waveform here. It gives you an auto representation of the amplitude, which is like, oh, it's going to get louder here. Well, yeah, there's a hit. And there's probably a hit there. Boom, 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 boom. I'm very, very used to that. Let's drag in some more stuff. Let's drag in random things and see if they work. Elm Street, perhaps it's a horror thing. So again, you have to wait a bit for it to solo. That's cool. Now, I can change the size of this. That's also very good. But again, it's kind of disconcerting. Why does it have to make it disappear temporarily? Oh, good gosh, where did I go? Well, I clicked on that. Okay. Eventually, I'll be like your grandfather trying to figure this sort of stuff out, you know. but this is what we have in the present. So I'm gonna add something that is, oh, corporate. Oh my gosh, you know what this means? Hey, sorry. Bye guys. I wanna try to figure out how to make an infomercial track. A really cheesy one. Like da 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 ching. No sparkle effects, no budget for that. I should have previewed that. Okay, that's too professional sounding. Oh, come on. Where is a really... They got a lot of nice... Okay, this doesn't make sense too either. Why does the slider... Okay, that is not useful. If I make it small, you can't see the ends of the scroll bars. Poor choice. Trailer music. At least they preview pretty fast. I do like that. And they sound good. They do sound good. So it is a matter of really dragging something and awaken the beast. Oh. I really like to figure out those terms of service to see if I can use these samples in bigger tracks. Someone please explain that to me. China trance. What is it? China trance. It's more like psytrance with a slight Asian influence because it wasn't even using a proper pentatonic scale. But hey, most people don't know, most people don't care. The burdens of knowledge. So I continue to, oh, Vice Squad, this is like Miami Vice. It's like one of those CSI shows. But overall, I'm having a tough time here finding the infomercial stuff that I wanted. Oh, promos, commercials. Is this one? What would be cool if it could play you a random loop, if you could quickly surprise me with something. And moods. I guess I'll go back to corporate. I mean, that's the most boring sounding thing here, but I just... But there's a lot of these kind of arpeggiated things. That sounds sort of sleazy. So the variety, I think, I would say that's great. There's a lot of stuff going on. Let's see if there's this little Tinkerbell music. I don't know how that is a children's song. Some of them are, I think, they too heavy on the words, not enough. So I want to try to make something here. I've just got lost in tracks now. You can see how problems materialize. Can't I search? Is there a keyword here? Is there a keyword for cheesy, perhaps? Chemical beats. This probably all sounds like big beat stuff from the late 90s. Yeah. But I don't want that. I want to find infomercial stuff. Infotainment, perhaps? That's still not as cheesy as I want. I want something with 80s soft ballad guitar. Lounge, maybe? Loungecore? Oh. This is kind of slowing me down from making a track. Okay, we'll go with that. Fine. So, we could take this track here. Let's see if I can drag it. The dragging is not exactly smooth. It doesn't loop totally smoothly. Listen to that. See? There's a break there. And I'm not sure if this is actually matching the... Well, it shows a tempo there, but it's not... Doesn't look like the loop is totally cut to there. This is a problem they really have to solve because it's so puzzling for me as a noob here. Okay, and so I hear there's effects. I can right click. Good. That's pretty cool. And this one have... And let's see what we can do now. I want to have stereo delay. Let's try. Okay, I had to play it in here. That's confusing because if you push space, it controls what's in the background. Now these are confusing knobs. I don't like that. That's kind of weird. Looks like little peace signs. Okay, so not really impressed by the effects, and they're not fully real time either. I have to go into that. Like I liked in Soundation, I could just select them out of here, and then I guess basically these things are just like dropping games. You just drop stuff, and you're like, Okay, that sounds good there. That doesn't sound... Oh, but it doesn't snap. Okay, I'm in, and I'm not sure. I think some good stuff. Where did I change the tempo? Okay, here we go. So if I set this to 135... Now, why does this even really need a slider? Because I can't get precision. See, I can't... If I wanted 136, I can't get that with a slider. Okay. And 130. Okay, now... Yes, laugh at me all you like. We all begin as noobs. Okay, let's take something totally random. It's like Sims music. So, overall, I've actually gotten bored, and I don't want to bore you further. I like the collection of tracks they've got. I think the organization could be done much tighter in times. I think that searching instead of just having to scroll would be a lot nicer. The functionality would probably be the same, like you just drag tracks and eventually I guess you can record. What? Oh, maybe this takes your mic in. Oh, yes, I've heard that too, and I think that's a draw of it. I wonder how this interacts now that I'm doing. Okay, yes, you can do that. Maybe this is a little bit more of a magic trick. Okay, because it can do us here. And I guess that could be a very... That's a good creative draw, because then you can get something else going in. Although I pressed save. Okay, that was a bit slow, and I can just drag that in. So in our infomercial now... So more creative possibilities there, and I suppose after... I'm going to save it first. Is he going to ask me to sign in or something? And I was going, yeah. And I need to log in or register. Okay, I don't want to do that now, but you see how this basically works. Loop-based music is really, really simple at the core. All these sorts of editors, they do the same type of thing. You have these chunks, and you have to know the beats per minute, and you just drag them in. It'd be really handy to have time stretching on this, but it doesn't appear to be an option. Maybe that's something that's not technically feasible at this point, but on the desktop it is with Ableton Live, which I really, really like. And I don't use it just as a single point of reference, but because it implements so many things so well. Anyway, check it out. It's Aviary Myna, and hopefully you'll have some fun with it. Clearly there are a lot of creations. It would be fair to browse some of them, although I wish more of them had original art. Not a lot of them do. And I guess this is sort of tough to browse as well. So there's got to be more of social ways of sharing the music and saying, oh, a bunch of people have, okay, they do have a star system here. Although for some reason, I've never been quite fond of that. When stars are gray, stars should be better than that. So if I would click on one and say, okay, let's see. Oh, good. Derivatives, inversions. Yes, this is what I was looking for. So just take to click through. I like being corrected that way. And more details here on the right. Let me just move this so it's a... And it's good to see what's up, and I guess we can play it. But when we play it, will it show the waveform?
What bird has the most elaborate, the most complex, the most beautiful?
That's funny.
This bird must be one of them. This bird must be one of them.
Hey.
This bird. Camera shutter.
So that's pretty cool for vocals, actually. You start singing and just get something on. That was pretty creative, and here's the social part of it. You can talk about it. But yeah, overall, in terms of the creation process, it's not something intuitive for me. But I encourage you to give it a go firsthand. I often like looking at these things, projecting them into the future of where it's going to be. It's exciting we have this power on the web now. Just a few years ago, that would have been a pipe dream of sorts. But now, thanks to having something like this in Aviary Myna.